everybody, welcome back to another episode of Hildy's Cafe. I'm Hildy. Here's the cafe, which is my kitchen. I've had several requests for making chicken and dumplings, and it's a nice cool evening, so let's make some chicken and dumplings. Behind me I have 3 pieces of chicken cooking. I have a thigh, a breast, and a leg, just to get a little variety of the different whites and dark meats. I put it half chicken broth, half water, and it's been on simmering. It's all bone in, so the broth is richer, and I use a low sodium chicken broth and water. And then there's also a few basic other ingredients that we put in. You can see some celery, carrots, and onion. I'm going to rough chop them, put them in the pot. You can either take them out. It depends on the region you grew up in. My stepdad didn't care for the veggies, so my mom always fished them out. Me, I like the veggies, so I just leave them in and I cut them just a little bit smaller. So while I get these chopping and that simmering, I shall return. I hope you guys are having a good week. I'm at 95 subscribers. Just 5 more people and we've hit the goal of 100. I want to give a shout out to Shlee. She does MRE tastings. She has a vlog. She lives in North Carolina and she goes on lots of great adventures with her twin sister. I look her up, and this is a shout out for her because she's not real familiar with making soup. And making chicken and dumplings, what you're doing is you're making a basic chicken soup first, and then I'm going to use some Biscuit dumplings, using the gluten-free Biscuit quick mix to make the dumplings. In my earlier videos, I do have a copycat gluten-free Biscuit recipe, just because a small little box of Biscuit like this is going to run you almost $8. And the recipe I have, it brings the cost down to maybe $3 or $4 for a box that big. And if you're making chicken and dumplings for a family of 4, 5, or 6, you're going to use that whole box, and it gets pretty pricey. Into our pot of simmering chicken. We're going to let this go for about, well, the chicken's been in there for about a half an hour, so we're going to let this go for about maybe another half an hour. Get the chicken, extract all the goodness off of the bones. Make sure the chicken is really well done. Get the flavors all melded. I don't know if you can see that. And the chicken broth, the low sodium, it adds a lot of good flavor. And this is where you want to start building your flavor. So I like to add fresh cracked black pepper, more or less according to your taste. Just a touch of salt. You can use kosher, table salt, iodized salt. Me, I like using Himalayan pink salt. It looks like it's a lot, but it's a very, very fine grind. And then a little bit of garlic powder. If you want to chop up fresh garlic and throw it in there, I suggest maybe 3 or 4 cloves. And if you really want to cheat and don't have access to a lot of spices, this is a good spice for you to use. It's just the seasonal. It has the salt, pepper, paprika, oregano. It has everything in it that you need. Just a little bit of Italian seasoning, just enough just to flavor the broth. But if you want spicy, go ahead and add a little bit of chili powder. Me, not so much. I like it a little bit more savory. Okay, now we're going to turn this off, or turn the cameras off for a little while. Let this simmer for about another half an hour, and I will be back. Okay, we are going to add the chicken. I took it off the bone and chopped it up into a bunch of pieces. We can add that right into our chicken broth with our vegetables, our carrots, our onions, and celery. We're going to bring this back up to a boil. And the fun part is coming up. Now with gluten-free baking, it's important to have all your wet ingredients at room temperature, and also give the dry ingredients, once combined with the wet ingredients, a rest time, because with rice-based flours it takes a while for the liquids to absorb into the rice because it's a much coarser grain. What we just added was 6 tablespoons of Biscuit. That's for 2 people, with a half an egg, 2 tablespoons of milk with 2 teaspoons of milk. And we're going to mix this all together to make a light dough. And the more that it rests, the thicker it becomes. So you might have to thin it out with a little bit more milk. Or you might have to add a little bit more Biscuit, or just regular flour will work too if you run out. For a family of 4, 5, or 6, I would just grab a whole chicken and boil it for about an hour and a half. Cool it, remove the skin and the bones, and then go from there. But use a much larger pot than this. You know, it looks like I'm going to have to make more Biscuit. It doesn't look like that's going to be enough to fit the pot. I really thought it was going to. So, what you get to do is watch me do this from scratch. So we're going to count out 6 tablespoons of Biscuit. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I really hope I get to 100 subscribers soon. I've been having so much fun putting together this giveaway to a much deserved winner. All right, now let's get a little bit of parsley. I'm going to throw in 2 teaspoons. Rough teaspoons, I should say. It just gives it a little bit of color, a little bit of flavor. And I am so glad Red Lobster put out a gluten-free Cheddar Bay biscuits. Yum, yum. And since I bought small eggs, instead of trying to measure out a half an egg, I'm just going to do just 1 small egg. Get that. Oops, sorry, I'm making so much noise. But I'm a noisy cook. Gotta hear it in here on Thanksgiving. Okay. You don't need to salt and pepper the eggs, milk, and Biscuit. The Biscuit has enough salt in it, and then the parsley, and then the chicken broth is going to absorb into the dumpling. Okay, and here's 2 tablespoons of milk. And it also calls for 2, oh, here it is. 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons. And through the magic of TV, whoops, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just falling all over the place. Through the magic of TV, we're going to pretend that's sat and came room temperature. There, that looks much better. But as I was saying, the gluten-free Cheddar Bay biscuits, those are really good. Okay, we're going to let this sit and rest for about 5 minutes. Then the chicken stew, lack of a better word, will be ready. If you want your broth thicker, just add a little bit of cornstarch and cold water, make a slurry and add it to it. But I find that these gluten-free biscuits will thicken up everything quite nicely. So I should, and through the magic video editing, this is rested. We're going to turn the heat down just a smidgen. And I find using an ice cream scoop, cookie scoop, whatever you want to call these little suckers. You just drop it scoop by scoop into the boiling soup. I know in the South, dumplings are like a noodle, but I didn't grow up eating the noodle based. I grew up eating these biscuit type. These are what I'm more familiar with and more fond of. I guess it depends on what you were grown up with. Okay, now we're going to just let that sit and cook. We'll simmer uncovered for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes we'll uncover it and cook again for another 10 minutes with the lid off or with the lid on. So I shall be back. All right, 10 minutes are up. Now we're going to cover this and we'll be back in another 10 minutes. Okay, the timer went off, so 10 minutes. Oh, that's hot. Let's get our hot pad on, safety first. Look how good that looks. Dumplings are good. Look good, they look nice and tender. Let's grab a picture of that. Might use it for my thumbnail. Now let's serve it up. Get the chicken, get some good broth in here. Yeah, the dumplings kind of fell apart, but that's kind of what happens with gluten-free cooking. It's not always the prettiest. Here, we'll put a nice little dumpling on top. All right, we're going to see how this tastes. All right. Let's see how this tastes. It looks really good. Nice and steamy hot. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm not real sure what happened there. The video decided to kick out. Maybe my battery's running low, so I'm going to end this video here. And I hope I can get to 100 subscribers. I hope you enjoyed that recipe. Give chicken and dumplings a try. It's not that hard. If you're a little leery, write a comment down below with any questions that you have, and I'll do my best to answer them as honestly and quickly as I can. And as I said before, you don't know what your neighbor is going through. We're all going through something rough. Tomorrow's a big day for me medically. I belong to the VA system, and I've been skipped around for a couple of years with my diabetes. And having weight loss surgery 7 years ago should have helped with that, but instead it got really worse and my pancreas took a turn. And there's so many veterans and not enough caregivers to help us. I kind of got lost in the system, and I graduated from type 2 to type 1 diabetes, and so tomorrow I get my insulin pump and start a whole new life. And also, you know, having celiac disease, my diet's higher on the glycemic index. Having weight loss surgery, you know, I have to stick to higher proteins, but you know, gosh darn it, flavor fatigue kicks in. And as you notice, you know, I'm super skinny. I should be about 160 pounds, but I can barely make it past 125, 130 on a good day. So, you know, we're all going through something. And, you know, I just say that story because for me, if I'm in the grocery store out and about, you know, like today, I'm really foggy in my head. Yesterday, my sugar was $6.99, and normal is between 97 and 180 after I eat. So I've been really lethargic, really confused, and sometimes, you know, I look really lost in the grocery store, and all it takes is just that one person to give me a smile or, you know, kind of redirect me. And I live in such a small enough community that people recognize me with my blue hair, and if I seem a little off, you know, they check on me, and that means the world to me. And I try to pass it forward, pay it forward to the next person. You know, if I notice that they're not having a good day, if I don't have the courage that day to say, hey, you know, can I help you? I just flash them a great big old, you know, Hildy's Cafe smile, and that tends to help them, and it brings me up, it brings them up, and it makes their day a little bit better, and maybe they can pass it on to somebody else who's not having a good day. And you see how that snowball effect happens, and you know, pretty soon you've got yourself a pretty happy little community. You know, we're all helping each other and, you know, getting into the spirit of things. And anywho's, I'm going to go eat this, edit that, and hopefully I can get to 100 subscribers. Y'all take care of yourselves. Bye until next time.